Our history is like two iconic breaking ground, making history in separate ways.
Let's proceed with what I feel is the most interesting part of the program.
All the interesting things going on in the news.
It makes it so much more interesting for the listener.
There are some interesting details relating to all this. Now listen.
Oh, that's interesting.
Right?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, well, that's interesting. If you can't be at least mildly interesting, then shut the hell up.
Let's see if they've got any interesting guests coming up.
I don't want to be rude here, but my stories are interesting.
What up, everybody? Welcome to TIPI. The interesting part is I'm the loudmouth Zannie Kis. That's my brother.
What up, KisAlan, the KisAlan experience in the building.
You already know what this is, man. The most interesting part is the most interesting part of the most interesting stories, and it's gonna get real interesting tonight, man. Thanks a lot for joining us. We would ask that, if you like the content, you like how we get down, please hit that subscription button at the bottom of the screen. Subscribe to the channel. Let us know you love it, and please leave your comments on some of the topics we talk about. We're trying to get our subscriptions up, Kis. So what we want to do is when you leave a comment, please leave your @ on Instagram so we can DM you, because we're gonna do a little raffle where we're gonna give away the KisAlan Experience T-shirt. You got one? You got one,
That's
Kis?
right.
We're gonna give away some of these T-shirts. These are so nice. And Kis got the hat on, baby. And we got these bad boys. The KisIsm hoodies. I love this thing. Smells so good. It's so soft, man. And see what I'm saying? So go ahead, sign up, and in the coming weeks, we're gonna start to give some of this stuff away. And if you get one, we appreciate you putting it on, sending us a photo and all that. Let's get into it, man. I saw something really interesting in your neck of the woods, man. Let's talk about Tiffany Henyard is her name. She is the mayor of Dalton, Illinois. And let me tell you, dog, she done gone wild with the city budget. And just start spending it on herself, like just doing it. And meanwhile, they're losing police officers, they're losing police vehicles. They have bills piling up from contractors that are doing work in the city that have not been paid.
What they're saying is not true. It took them 6 months to tell me that the things that I submitted were not sufficient. And I think that is a stall. That is them trying to, wait me out.
This comes amid allegations from residents and trustees over Henyard's misuse of public funds, lavish spending, and mispayments to vendors. Several trustees telling NBC5 the village faces a growing $7 million deficit and multiple lawsuits. Some residents voiced their frustrations and concerns over the current administration.
Guys, we need to take the heart and put it back in dollars.
Not only is it not entertaining, it is an injustice to the people here.
So what people are saying is that, Kis, is she spending the money or what's happening? Is she spending the money?
You know what, man? I don't think it's how you do what you say or how you do it. I think it's how she's going about responding with this energy.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily, right? They're going back and forth. They're locking each other out of buildings. I mean, it is on our news here every single day. That's right up the road. I'm 5 minutes away.
Right.
Thriving city. I really appreciate Dalton. I've had a ton of fun out in Dalton.
Yeah. I remember back in the day, we used to hit up the skating rinks out there.
Man, the skate rink, the bowling alley.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, it's not what she's doing, it's how she's doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And it feeds into this media. It feeds into the clicks. Transparency is not transparent out in that space. They're not communicating and talking to one another. Now, I have seen some Cadillacs, on the news, and I've seen some trucks and some trips.
Some trips, right. They said she's been taking luxury trips. Where'd she go? She went to Atlanta on the city's dime, Austin, New York, they said New York, she wrapped up a $13,000 bill. In Atlanta, it was $19,000. What are you spending $19,000 on in Atlanta?
All of this is allegedly. I want them to get their hands on them bills, make it real, sit her down, let her figure out she a young lady. Let her figure out how to make this thing real and really serve them people in Dalton in the way that they need to be served.
I mean, it just you're right about her energy, because her attitude just seemed like she could care less. she like, y'all tripping. Why y'all doing this to me? It's like, girl,
I'm
you can't
right, y'all wrong. Leave me alone. I saw one where she was like, y'all attacking a Black woman.
Yeah.
In charge. I said, okay, sister. You know, sometimes, man, you understand you got all your ducks in a row and you have an energy like, come on with it. Come on with it. And sometimes you just dead wrong and you like, come on with it. I think we will find out the truth soon enough.
It made me think about Fannie Willis and in Georgia going after Trump, and then they came after her because she hired this guy. Then she started dating this guy, and then they started spending the money that he's making on the case, which is close to $1 million. And then she had to fire the guy because it just looked improper. Now, like, you're right. She got her ducks in a row. She had her receipts. But it was the energy. It's like, you know.
It's like, catch me if you can, even though you ain't catching nothing. Let's go on this journey.
If you ain't catching nothing, then y'all need to get out on my face.
I got my receipts, and it remains to be seen out here with Tiffany. She pop up with everything she needs to make it 100% legit, but we'll see.
We'll see. We will find out. TIPI, the interesting part is, here's one thing that I wanted to talk to you about, man. And I definitely want your take on this. Caitlin Clark. She's a phenomenal player. She's been playing lights out. The biggest moment, this was a big rematch, LSU and Iowa rematch from last year's championship game that she lost. There was a lot of controversy and a couple of interesting things out of this. I do not like the way that they actually portrayed the LSU team. It's like they were like good versus evil, the Barbies or something like that. And I didn't like that. I really didn't like that. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. The game is over. Moving on, they're gonna play in the Final Four. But Ice Cube, the proprietor of the Big Three, offered Caitlin Clark $5 million to come and play in the Big Three this upcoming season. $5 million. What's interesting about that is I don't think that there's any current player in his league that he's paying that much.
No. And what's interesting about that to me is that's a for lack of better words, that's a dog pit.
Right.
They're playing for keeps. Big baby. It's some players.
These boys roughhouse. I've watched the games over these last few seasons. These boys rough. I don't see how you put her on one of those unless you're gonna change the rules or something.
And especially you ain't putting her out there showing no former pro up, smacking 4 points, because I know he got the 4-point shot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Shot. Man, somebody, no, we don't want to do that to her. This is clearly, to me, in my opinion, a media ploy just to get some buzz going around the Big Three as they come into the season, man.
Yeah, they're coming into the season. I don't think that Ice Cube needs these kind of gimmicks for his league. I think that what he needs, a couple of things. What he needs, one, is for the NBA to get off his back. There's been some controversy about them trying to take clients away, about them trying to block some of the things that he's trying to do, about them warning players not to come play for the league. But what he does need, one, it seems like the two leagues would go hand in hand. And I don't know why it is like it is. He's not playing during their season, so it's not a competition thing. But Ice Cube needs to get out here and get some some more named players. I saw where Brooke, one of the Lopez brothers, Brooke Lopez or Robin Lopez, is out of the league now. Get that guy to play. Pay Kevin Garnett $1 million. He'll come off his couch and play. Shout out to the Kevin Garnett podcast. He'll play. I mean, there's some guys out here that, you know, are recently out of the league or you know, went down to the G League. Man, get some of these guys to play. And I wonder if he can't get some of these guys because the NBA is having some kind of influence on it. I really wonder.
It depends. In the beginning, man, he had some big names.
Yeah.
That were recently playing in the NBA.
Yeah.
Rashard Lewis's. He had some really good players. And I think over time, because he has some incredible sponsorship, CBS.
Yep.
Right? I think over time, but I will tell you, going back to your original point, it ain't $5 million worth putting that woman in that league. And having her play for real, because then they'll play for real.
Because they gonna they gonna have that chip.
I'm not putting them past them, but you know, they still trying to eat. I would be careful with that.
Absolutely. I mean, he just the only players I see where Nick Young is in the league, Corey Brewer, who I know from the Timberwolves back in the day, Tony Allen, from the Boston Celtics, Joe Johnson. Some of those names kind of ring out, but I don't know. I just don't think Ice Cube needs this kind of gimmick. But I think I think you hit it on the head. He just wants to get people talking about the big three as they head into this. What third is the fourth or fifth season?
It's one of those. I mean, he got Dr. J, George Gervin coaching.
Yep. Gilbert Arenas is coaching.
Yeah.
Charles Oakley is coaching one of the teams. So the coaches' names are bigger than some of the players that he got.
That's real.
It's pretty interesting. TIPI. Hey, gang, thanks a lot for hanging with us. Real quick, I want to shout out our sponsor, Big Don's. All right, at Big Don's Collection EST.2020. At Big Don's Collection EST.2020. You got the original, you got the spicy. Hit up their website, man. Show these boys some love. And trust me, once you get your hands on some Big Don's, you ain't going back. I had this stuff on everything every single night. I'm just telling you, Big Don's at Big Don's Collection EST.2020.
Man, speaking of Big Don sauce, man, remember when we used to go to Jerry's on Cedric Street?
Right.
And get the big bag of fries for like 65 cents and drown them in sauce? I may bring that back with Big Don sauce.
They be drowning that barbecue sauce and the bag be all red and wet.
The more you ate, you just rip your bag down further and further. You didn't share till you got to the bottom.
Oh, man.
And then it was cold.
Yeah, man. That's what I'm talking about. TIPI. The interesting part is, guys, thanks a lot for hanging with us today. Kis, I wanted to get your opinion on this. I wanted to get your take on this. I was reading where they put out, this is going to sound weird, but it's pretty interesting. They put out the annual World Happiness Report. And for the first time, they say for the first time in a long time, in over 20 years, the U.S. is not in the top 20 countries that's happy. For a few reasons, I would imagine. But the interesting part is how are they measuring what country is happier than what other country? I mean, and the other question I have for you, I want to know your take on, why do you think the U.S. is not happy?
I think two things. I think the same thing they're using to measure it, which is that the social media platform is the same reason why, the U.S. may be, a little bit unhappy right now, whatever this survey is, right?
Okay.
I will tell you, our ability to compare ourselves and constantly hear motivational tracks and just continue to just dive and engage, overindulge, can get to the point where if you're not if you're not talking positive to yourself every day,
if you're not mentally tough,
if you're not mentally tough, I can see you gonna start listening to more slow songs. You know, you go. I can remember times back when we would just go in the room and me and my buddies, we'd just go and sit around and listen to "Would You Love Me When Nights," and it's a sunny, beautiful day. You got to catch yourself. I know I'm getting off track, but I think you got to catch yourself and keep positive thoughts in your mind and in your body, regardless of what's going on. Because if you get caught up in what's going on in today's world, the ups and downs, the news when it come on in the morning and when you go to bed at night, just how they're kind of guiding this machine is kind of guiding us. I can see how that can happen, man. I'd be interested to know who exactly they surveyed.
Well, I mean, exactly. So, I mean, some of the things that they talk about was that some of the different elements that may lend to just being unhappy, the economy, right?
The price of eggs.
People is paying more than ever for everything, and some cities are astronomically expensive to live in. And I mean, you can't, man, I can't imagine. Like I was looking at places in Florida just for rent, man. It's what I pay for my mortgage. And I'm like, what the political leadership.
Yes.
And you know, a lot of that probably stemmed from that last regime, I believe, not this present one, but that last one. And then there's a lot of people that's disappointed in this current, you know, nation leader as well. So I can see where that can get you down.
Hey man, honestly, a box of cereal costs $7.
Honestly, dog, when our boy was in office, when my president was in office, I was real happy. I ain't gonna even lie. When my president was in there, I was happy, dog.
It goes back to what we talked about a little bit earlier, man. It's not how you do, it's not how you do things, it's the energy in which you're doing with.
Yeah.
Now, was he perfect? No, but the energy kept everybody calm.
Right. He kept everybody
and when you're calm, you can be solution-based. You could think a little better. I think right now, man, more than ever, people are in a frenzy. You just don't know what they're desensitizing us with this. You could see everything, and everything is just happening in real time. And almost like you're numb to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so,
loneliness was another one of the factors that they
factored in. Really?
Loneliness, that people are lonely and unhappy. And again, I think it points back to what you said. A lot of people, instead of looking up, they looking down. So if you stand in your phone on your laptop, you know, when you should be engaging with people around you, I don't know, man. It's bizarre, but for the first time in over 20 years, the U.S. is on the unhappy list.
Hey, man, you know what that do? That make me unhappy. It does because you know, if I had got myself in a hole, the first thing I do is I stop digging. That's the first thing I'm doing.
I'm gonna stop digging.
I'm gonna stop digging. I think that, man, we got to individually make a choice to be happy, love our loved ones, be more grateful. I think that more than ever, there's a ton of ungratefulness going on, right?
I believe that.
And I don't think that's generationally. I just think that's in general. We've gotten too used to everything. I liked it when we didn't have as much access, man.
That's right.
Remember when you knew what time of day to answer your phone and not answer your phone? You had no call ID. That was beautiful.
You'd be like, nah, I know who that is.
That's a bill collector ring.
That's a bill collector ring.
You know? But we got to keep working, man.
That's somebody stupid. I don't got time for that today.
Yeah, we got to continue to put positivity. Make sure whatever space you go into, that you're solid with yourself. And the other thing, and I'll end on this, it's so much unhappiness or negativity in spaces that you can go in a space sometime with a really good energy and then feel bogged down by the energy in the room. And
with the energy coming your way. That's right. That's right.
I think the strength of it all is you staying locked into your faith and making sure you know why you happy and you continue to love on people and bring positivity in spaces that you're in. And that's all you can ask for.
I will tell you something, because when I was reading this, it really struck me, because last year was not the best year for me. Last year was really tough. This last year and a half has been really tough for more than 3 reasons. But one that I'll talk about is I lost my job. And when I lost my job, doing what I do, it's only a few really good spaces, right? A few really good spaces where you're going to thrive. You can show all your creativity. You can really win. And I was winning, dog. I was winning. And when this whole thing happened, I'm going to tell you, man, I was very sad. And like you said, if somebody comes with some positive energy and they meet some negative energy or a bad energy or a down energy, so I brought my whole house down. I brought my whole house down, and I knew it, but I couldn't get out of it. I was scrambling, trying to find another job. Luckily, I did in a timely fashion. But I couldn't get out of it. One thing that I started to do, and I hope this helps some people. One thing that I started to do is just what you said. I started to be grateful for the things that I got. Every day when my feet touched the floor, getting out the bed, I would list off a bunch of things that I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for my home. I'm grateful for my family, my son, my wife, everything around me. I'm grateful for that I got a car that runs. I'm grateful that I have a job. It's not the job I had, but it's a job, and people there appreciate me and love me, and I like it. I like it a lot. And the more that I was grateful, the more I began to come out of it. I'll tell you another way I came out of it was I started exercising. Got back on that bench, boy. Got on that treadmill. Started just eating better. Cut out carbs. Speaking of cutting out carbs, I cut out them carbs. I changed my diet. Stopped eating a whole lot of red meat, and it just brought me out of it, man. So it's easy for me to understand it really struck me when I read this article, because loneliness and sadness is a big part of everything you do, but there's always a way. And I believe it starts with being grateful for what you do have, and demonstrate that you're grateful every day. Every time you can say thank you. Every time, I look at my wife and she stuck with me through all the drama, right? So, I really hope that helps somebody, because it helped me. I'm happier than I have been in years, man. Sitting just where I am. I'm not envious. I'm not resentful. I'm not angry. You go through those stages when something like that happens, and I did, and I had to pull myself out of it. And with your help and the help of my other brothers and sisters, the help of my wife, my kids, I got out of it, man, and I'm a better person because of it. And so now I know when those feelings comes, I know how to react. I know how
what your triggers are.
Build yourself back to a positive space, and I take that positive energy everywhere I go. So,
and everybody don't like it in the space, Zannie. Everybody don't like it. I heard one dude say the other day, man, if you want a space where you can put some gas in your car, take a hot shower, get a haircut every 2 weeks, and have a good meal, like, you winning.
You are. You winning.
You winning. And so if I could, you winning. And so I appreciate that transparency, man, because I know that's gonna help somebody. After they watch this, they gonna subscribe and they gonna get a T-shirt. No,
y'all know what this is, the KisAlan experience. And double that up. Make sure you leave your @ for your Instagram in the comments below, and we'll DM you and get all your information and send you out one of these shirts. And make sure you check out the complimenting KisAlan experience vodka, because it's so smooth. Where they can get it at, man? Where can they order this?
ngdistilleries.com, ngdistilleries.com, local manufacturer here in the state of Illinois. my main man Noel Garcia doing it way big. He and I sat down, man, and came up with this concept. I had never developed anything like this. So if you can imagine, we went through about 4 or 5 tastings. It was incredible. But the story on the back, when you think about the KisAlan experience, the story on the back is just as fruitful as the vodka itself.
And all the details. And you know, my mom is involved in this as well. I mean, in terms of the story and some of the stuff, it's really cool, man. So make sure you check that out.
But my man Kanye.
Oh, Kanye. What about Kanye? What about Kanye?
Kanye is out there.
Oh,
he's out there. I know we've read about this. He out there at his school, and he's going back into his thing every now and then. He's in there acting. Talk to me about that.
It's the Donda Academy. This is a school that he started in honor of his mom's name. But lately they said he's been up in there raising hell with the students, yo. Like snapping off. You feel me? He's up in there. He's they filed a lawsuit against him, a young man who used to work for him. They're accusing him of mistreating Black employees, praising Hitler in front of the students, pretending to masturbate in front of the students. Employees, he said he's gonna cut off their locks, of the employees and the students. So he's just, I guess he don't have nothing to do. And like you said, he goes in and out. He'll have these episodes, right? Yeah. So he's going in and out, and he's coming up into school, terrorizing these kids. I thought Kanye was getting better. What's wrong with him?
We have to stay in a prayerful state, because clearly there's something right. There's something wrong. There's an imbalance there, right? And in most instances, he is doing well. He speaks his mind like he always has. But in this instance, it sounds like this one of them out of body type of experiences. We don't want them babies. You know, they're at a very impressionable age, right? They're already overexposed to this social media. But here we have an iconic figure like Kanye standing in the middle of the school, allegedly doing madness like this, right? What impression does that give you as you go through your educational journey?
And this is in your mom's name. So I mean, you have to be mentally unbalanced to risk that, to risk her name. If you're going to put her name on this and build a legacy around this school in honor of your mom and all the love and support that she gave you, you can't be up in the hallways acting crazy at this school. You just can't do it.
And that's why I say we gotta make sure he gets the best possible help while he's still free out here, while he can still roam the land, because it'll get to a point where he'll do something.
He's gonna be the next one.
That'll make it all change the situation. What they say, everything good until it ain't.
Until what do you say? Until it ain't.
You know,
it's really scary, because I was a huge Kanye fan,
and I still am.
You know, and when I see stuff like this, it pulls me further and further away. I was the guy that would like be defending his ass. You know what I'm saying? I was the guy to be like, y'all leave Kanye alone. But he's got to be willing to accept help.
Yeah.
And stick to it. And remain just normal. Ain't nobody asking you not to say what you want to say, do what you want to do. Just amp it down. They say he's up in there, hate speech, spreading anti-Semitic tropes, threatening the LGBTQ plus community, threatening the kids with physical violence, threatening his employees after they speak up to him.
But Zannie, here's what I'll tell you. More than ever, we are seeing this behavior. So something about this makes it real to me. It makes it like, what are we going to do to help these people? Because this ain't no one-off.
Right.
I'm seeing a bunch of people.
Yeah, he's not the only one.
Just go into these spaces where it's like, okay, what's really going on? And so I think that some of it's by design. I think the other part of it is we've gotten so much caught in clickbait and growing our brands and being seen for whatever the reason is that we willing to do whatever for people to listen to us and follow us and binge on us. And right now, guess what? We talk about Kanye in a way that ain't so favorable, but I will tell you, in honor of him, I thought about my top 5 Kanye songs.
Oh, yeah. Okay, here we go. All right, you got a good one for us. Top 5 and why. We love to do this part on the show. And we talking about the old Kanye. We talking about the old Kanye, not the clone Kanye, not the crazy Kanye who want to kill Pete Davidson. We talking about the old Kanye, the backpack Kanye, the polo with the collar up Kanye. You know what I'm saying? Give it to me, man. Top 5 and why. Top 5 Kanye songs of all time. Number 5.
First of all, Kanye, I'm rolling with you till the wheels fall off, brother. You hear me? Number 5, Runaway.
Okay.
Runaway was one of them joints that I could listen to over and over.
All right.
And over again, because what he did was he dug in, right? You just said the old Kanye, not the young Kanye, but smooth Kanye and real Kanye.
Right.
Runaway. It was on that My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Oh, I love that album, dog. I love that album.
That's when, to me, he was unapologetic. He had Pusha T on there, and
Rick Ross. Oh, that was a great record, man.
He blew that one out. Number 4.
Top 5 and why. Your top 5 Kanye joints.
Monster.
Oh yeah.
Monster
Okay.
Monster.
This was this was the one. Okay. What's number 3?
Spaceship from the College Dropout.
Okay, Spaceship. Let me hit a little bit of that one. Hang on, I forgot what that sounded like. All right.
We gonna put that joint up. Spaceship was another, the College Dropout. I couldn't get off of that one.
Number 2.
He was super honest on that one. Number 2, Through the Wire. When it all first went down.
The original, right?
With the original joint, when it all first went down.
The original video.
When I'm telling you, he talking through the wire, I think he inspired him. We didn't even know how inspired we was at the time.
Right.
But it was so inspiring. Like, this dude is really doing it.
Right. I mean, because some people really don't know that story where he actually was in a car accident. His mouth was wired shut and he couldn't hardly talk. But when he was able to get up and get to the studio, he literally was rapping through a wired jaw. And some people know that, a lot of people don't know that, but imagine that. He was literally rapping through a wired jaw. And then when his buddy put the video together, it was incredible, man. And talk about inspiration. That was incredible. You know, that made me think about 50 when he got shot all those times and he had to learn how to talk again because one of the bullets went in his jaw. And so, man, some of those stories are incredible, man. All right, top 5 and why. Talking about Kanye, your top 5 Kanye joints. At number 5, Runaway. At number 4, Monster. KisAlan said at number 3 is gonna be Spaceship. At number 2, Through the Wire. Number 1 Kanye joint.
I ain't talking about a gold digger. That joint right there with Jamie, man. You can bump that at a party. You can bump that at a barbecue. I mean, that's music that lives on forever. I ain't saying she a gold digger.
Yeah, that one bumps, baby. That one bumps. Great. Honorable mention, Jamie Foxx, Slow Jams. Slow Jams featuring Jamie, also featuring Jamie Foxx. Honorable mention.
And then I'm gonna do honorable mention. Yes. ... Anything that he's done with this church choir.
Oh yeah.
The work
Sunday
that he's
church,
done,
yeah.
some of the remakes on some of the songs that he's done with his choir. Sunday church mass, man. I mean, he's genius. And so we'll keep him lifted, making sure he know that he had TIPI. We messing with you, my boy.
Messing with you, but y'all need to revoke his key card to the school. Don't let him.
Just don't let him in no more.
Don't let him. Get a restraining order, and he got to go somewhere else with all that nonsense.
Go make some more classic music, my brother.
Take your medicine, Kanye. Take your medicine, dog. They gave it to you for a reason. Quit tripping. I love it. TIPI. The interesting part is, hey, gang, remember, subscribe to the channel.
Yes.
Subscribe to the channel. We want to give up some swag. We need some people checking in. Let us know what you think about the content. We really appreciate y'all. We need y'all to chime in and subscribe to the channel. We're looking for, I want 100. I want 100 more subscribers.
I want 100 more right here. We got KisAlan embroidered Scullies, man. I'll go get you one of these made.
Telling you, dog. I'm telling you.
Come on, now.
I'm telling you. Let's get it in. All right, we got to get out of here. Appreciate you, Kis. As always, imparting people, I remind you, fly low.
Avoid the radar.
And no matter what happens, when they come for the car, say the radio.
The radio.
TIPI, bitch.
The interesting part is,
our history is like two iconic breaking ground, making history in separate ways.
Let's proceed with what I feel is the most interesting part of the program.
All the interesting things going on in the news.
It makes it so much more interesting for the listener.
There are some interesting details relating to all this. Now listen.
Oh, that's interesting.
Right?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, well, that's interesting. If you can't be at least mildly interesting, then shut the hell up.
Let's see if they've got any interesting guests coming up.
I don't want to be rude here, but my stories are interesting.